Tonight, the knocking at the door came again. It wasn't an ordinary knock. It was a slow, dragging sound, like fingernails scraping across wood. 1, 2, 3. Then silence. A silence so thick it felt like the darkness itself was holding its breath. And then it began again. I lay frozen on the bed, my heart hammering against my ribs. I tried to breathe as softly as possible, but the sound of my own pulse was a drumbeat in my ears. My one-bedroom apartment on the 10th floor, usually a small comfort, suddenly felt vast and menacing. I'm a freelance graphic designer. It's a job that lets me escape to any city I want, and this time, my escape led me here, to this dilapidated apartment building. I chose it because it was cheap, and maybe, just maybe, I thought the city's constant noise could finally drown out the whispers in my own mind. The knocking came again, but this time, it was closer. It was in the bedroom. My hand shot out, grabbing my phone. The screen lit up. 3:17 a.m. The numbers made my heart clench. That was the exact hour Henry had died. Moonlight sliced through the blinds, casting a shadow on the wall. A tall, thin figure, its head tilted just so. The posture was hauntingly familiar. It didn't move. It just stood there, waiting. The musty smell of the old apartment grew stronger, mingling with a scent I knew all too well. The scent of damp earth. The smell of the grave where we buried him 10 years ago. "Victor, open the door for me." The voice was hoarse, but I knew it instantly. It was Henry's voice. You... Henry? I whispered, my own voice trembling so hard the words barely came out. A quiet, chilling laugh echoed in the darkness. "Don't you remember me? I've missed you so much, Victor." I clutched the blanket, my skin soaked in a cold sweat. "You're dead," I choked out. "You died 10 years ago in that accident." "Accident?" The voice turned sharp, cutting through the air. "You call that an accident? You pushed me, Victor. You killed me." The memories I had locked away for a decade burst open like a floodgate. The dark attic, the shouting, and that one final push. The push that sent him falling from the rooftop. It wasn't an accident. We had argued over our grandfather's inheritance. In a moment of pure rage, I pushed him. I didn't mean to, I confessed. Tears I didn't know I still had streaming down my face. I was just scared. Scared? His voice softened, but it wasn't comforting. It was full of a terrible pity. "I was scared too, Victor. I was alone in the dark for 10 years. But it's okay now. I found you." The shadow on the wall began to move, inching closer to my bed. I could hear a rasping sound like heavy, labored breaths, and that damp, earthy smell grew stronger, suffocating. "Why now? Why are you coming back now?" I asked, desperately trying to buy myself a few more seconds. "Because you're about to get married, Victor. You're planning to start a brand new life while I'm still trapped in darkness?" My heart pounded. My engagement to Michael was next week. I had never told him about Henry, about what really happened, about the guilt that had been my constant companion. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "I want justice, Victor. You've lived 10 years wrapped in lies. Now it's your turn to experience what I went through." The shadow reached the bed. I felt its presence like a block of ice, seeping into the air, chilling me to the bone. An invisible hand touched my cheek. It was cold, so cold, and it made my skin go numb. "Don't be afraid," the voice whispered right in my ear. "I won't hurt you. I just want to live again, just for a moment." "What? What does that mean?" I stammered, trembling uncontrollably. "Let me borrow your body, Victor. Let me feel life one more time. Just for one day. Then I promise I'll leave." "No!" I shouted, trying to scramble away to escape the bed. But an invisible force pinned me down. The cold seeped deeper past my skin, into every cell of my body. "Don't resist," he pleaded. "We're siblings, aren't we? Blood is thicker than water. You owe me this life." I felt my consciousness start to fade, as if I were being pushed into a dark, forgotten corner of my own mind. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. The room blurred before my eyes, replaced by a dense, swirling fog. And then I heard my own voice, but it wasn't me speaking. "Thank you, Victor. I promise I'll take good care of this body." At dawn, I, or what used to be me, got out of bed, stretching comfortably. I walked to the kitchen and brewed a cup of tea I had never drunk before, the bitter kind Henry always liked. I looked in the mirror, smiling at a familiar face, but the eyes staring back were strange, cold. "It's good to be back," the voice said. My voice, but his tone, echoing in the silent apartment. And I, the real me, trapped inside my own body, could only watch. I watched my hands call Michael and cancel the engagement with flimsy excuses. I heard my mouth speak words I didn't know, laughing in a way I had never laughed. On the second night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., I felt Henry's presence more vividly than ever. He was no longer a separate entity, a shadow on the wall. He was a part of me. "He lied to you, Victor." His voice echoed inside my head. "One day is not enough. I think I'll stay a little longer." Horror, cold and sharp, gripped me. I had been deceived. He never intended to leave. "Don't worry," he whispered, a phantom thought in my own mind. "We'll build a new life together. A better life than you ever could." I tried to fight back to regain control, but it was like trying to catch the wind. He had mastered my body perfectly, with a terrifying, intimate familiarity. As the week went by, I realized the terrible truth. Henry wasn't just occupying my body, he was erasing me. My memories started to fade, replaced by his. My feelings grew dull, replaced by his emotions. And then I understood the final, horrifying truth. This was not punishment. This was complete possession. He didn't want justice. He wanted a second chance at life. Tonight, at 3:17 a.m., the 7th time the clock has struck this hour since he arrived, I feel myself fading more than ever. I am a ghost in my own body. I can hear Henry whispering, "It's almost done, Victor. Soon you'll be free." But I know what he really means. My freedom is my total disappearance. And the most terrifying part? I'm starting to forget who I even was. Sometimes I wonder, was I the intruder all along? Was Henry the true master of this body? Perhaps when the sun rises again, it will only be him, living a second life in the body of the brother who killed him. And maybe that is the perfect punishment. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next one.